go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of DIOTALK. I'm Dio. Let's talk. I would like to present to you my guests of the day. They're two talented young men from Movie Confessions. Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome to Ben and John. How are you guys?
Doing
all right.
Welcome to the show, guys. I'm happy you guys are here finally.
Thank you. Thank you for having us on.
It's a pleasure. So what's up? What are you guys up to? You guys have a new podcast?
Well, it's sort of a, Ben, do you mind if I say?
Go right ahead.
It's sort of a rebranding, reboot, and another reboot.
That's what's up. That's good.
Yeah, like originally we were predominantly podcast form. Well, correction. Kind of experimented a little bit with YouTube and other stuff, then podcasts. Now we are, for the time being, strictly doing streaming until we get all our episodes on the line as to what we want to cover.
What streaming service you guys are
on? For right now, we do the podcast. Podcast air quote on YouTube. We stream it live on YouTube.
Got it.
It's there. And then basically, eventually, what me and Ben are going to do, we're going to dump all the audio files back onto where we had it, which is Apple and wherever we have
Yeah. So your guys basically two different platforms, which is good. It's not bad. It's dope. It's dope. What made you guys want to start this podcast on Movie Confessions? I know Ben has major passion for the art of acting and theater. What about you, John?
Well, I am the same way, but I acted myself a couple long time ago, I should say. And then I said, "Oh, I like directing and stuff." And I think in my heart, I want to direct more than, act. I want to be behind the camera.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind. If Ben says, "Okay, can I have you in one of my shorts?" I will be in one of my shorts. I can turn on the acting immediately. I want to be one of those actors that can go behind the camera and in front of the camera at the same time.
And I'm bringing in a reference for him that he'll like, kind of like Jonathan Frakes.
Yes, from Star Trek. More of a Star Trek, like I can do both at the same time.
That's good, man. That's good. Multi-talented. That's what's up.
Yeah.
If I could just jump in, where it kind of began was, we actually known each other since high school, but we really didn't, touch base and really get to become friends till after, where, I was in college for the time frame, and I just remembered posting movie stuff on Facebook, and John would kind of comment and give his 2 cents, and it would just be like, "Oh, let's kind of do Facebook Messenger. Oh, let's do I think it was the video Skype that Facebook had." Until
no, we went right through Skype. We went to Skype. I said, okay. No, Skype is the best.
Yeah. And then just over time, it kind of just evolved into, us kind of talking about movies at random that people in our lives were always like, "Oh, well, what do you think of this movie? What do you think of that film?" And we just thought, what? Everyone always wants to know what we think. Let's just, let's do something like a review show or something, which originally was a YouTube one. I think the one that we did, the only one we did, which was Star Trek Into Darkness. Yes, I'm bringing back memories where it's like,
it was our trial run, and then we were like, "No, this has to be an audio." It's not because I'm like, "Oh, my face," and or I don't want people to look. It's just the podcasting, just in general, the ecosystem was hitting the roof, and I was like, "No, we got to get on the podcast bandwagon and hit it on that." And it took us a while to figure out the RSS feed and all that stuff, behind the scenes stuff, and we got to it, and then I was like, "Oh, thank God." We got it.
Yeah. So, and for the most part with our podcast, it was, we managed to pump out several episodes at a time for a time frame, but several years, the last several years have kind of, due to personal issues and just other problems, it was hard for us just to kind of get certain things going. And then ultimately we found, or I should say, John was the one who was able to find the streaming application that we use for YouTube so that we could at least start it up again now that there's a little bit more time for us to actually get things done. So that's how we've been rebranding, rebooting, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I totally understand. I totally understand. When I first my podcast per se. I've been trying to do this for years. Just the time and always feeling like I need to do it very like perfect. I invested in a $300 Zoom microphone and lighting, and to this day I use nothing. I just use my laptop. I just started using my green screen, which I had it for numbers of years, and I just basically as I record everything through Zoom, which is the meeting and the audio. So when this once I start recording, and if I finalize everything, it starts to sync. And right there, when it finished syncing, I get two separate folders, which is just audio and the video. So then I'm able to, with my software, edit it, put my intro and my little nicks and knacks, and just upload it to my YouTube page. And then I have my website, Genius by Obtaining, which people can go on and download the podcast audio version for free. The ROSS, if I'm not mistaken, that's the name. It's kind of tricky, so I understand where you're coming from. It's very tricky, right. Sometimes to find it, and where you're find and submit it. It's very tricky. I started it with Anchor. Yeah. So I was I was in this mind process, because with Anchor you can transfer everything on Anchor and they'll distribute it for you, right? And then
yes. I've actually looked into that, and I was looking into it, and then I was like, I shouldn't say too complicated. It's too much. Like for me, I was like looking at, I'm like, no, this is like, I need something like quick and easy,
Yeah. Well, Anchors, I'm not sure back then, but now you can actually just record it on
right.
Anchor, and they distribute it. What I didn't like about it is that, my question is, how often are they promoting your product? You get what I'm saying? How often are they circulating? So you submitted it, you submitted your audio, whatever, and Anchor, the company itself, edit it for you, puts an intro, distribute it to any platform you want. But like I said, how often are they promoting your product? Because you got to understand, when you leave the terms and conditions, they own part of your product. Like, at least when I promote mine, if I don't have the money, I can at least take $15 and promote it on Facebook as $1 a day to 15 days, which is a total of $15, right? And I'm able to get some type of views, but I know I'm promoting myself. I know how much I'm getting. Well, these platforms, my big question is, how much is they're getting your product out there? But yeah, I like the fact that you guys are teaming up, because, like, in order, it's difficult for me just solo. I edit, I record, I schedule. I'm my one man team. But you guys are able to speak to another and schedule, and each one do their part, so that the business or the product or your dream can develop.
Right.
And I think you have that sequence, which will make, if you guys just continue to be consistency is the key to progress, right? If you guys have that consistency, you already have a guest. There's two people having a dialogue, which is easy. My thing is, I have to schedule everyone to come on the show, and sometimes I have last minute cancellation. So that's why I don't go live. I pre-record everything, because I want to, every Monday, 8:00 in the morning, or depending of the person, 12:00 p.m., I'm releasing a new episode, creating every Monday that consistency, right?
Yeah. So
you guys are very unique. I've watched some couple of stuff on your the page you have. I've watched your Instagram page, the little you have. It's very interesting. I like it. I'm a fan of it, because Ben is very methodic with his thoughts, right? He dissects everything. He doesn't give you a half-assed explanation. He'll give you an explanation so that you can understand, and people listening can understand, and you can understand what's his opinion about. without judging, just explaining. So I'm excited you guys are doing this.
Yeah, I mean it's funny because when you kind of look at, say, I'm trying to remember who, like, I'll go old school, like Siskel and Ebert.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah, like one would be very into like the whole plots and characters and whatnot, be very much the intellectual side, and the other one would be more or less the same, but would have a different viewpoint. So, it's kind of like whenever we talk about stuff we've seen, like recently, it would be, we're going to say, like the Syder Cut. Like both of us had our ideas of like, what is different, how is this, and all this other stuff, and obviously the films and stuff that came beforehand. Now, and just as what we do with our podcast, one of us would kind of maybe up the bit when it comes to stuff we have to rant about, or would literally kind of just be as very stoic with like certain explanations, like, oh well, here's the reason like this, and it should have been like that. So again, we just kind of like mix and match our opinions sometimes, and often bring things of a different nature in general. So that's how I feel like, when it comes to whatever we review. Because if I had to say one negative review we did that honestly I laugh at, was a particular movie with Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell, where I remember went to see that.
God, I remember that.
And I just figured when we went into it, it's like, this movie could be bad, but let's try and enjoy it. And then we both came out like thinking, well, we don't want to necessarily talk.
What was that? Get Hard? That movie?
Yes.
It was Get Hard. Yeah.
Yes. And then basically what happened was, we were like, okay, I'll try to kind of explain and try to say things in a manner to kind of be, cushion the blow. And then John comes in with like saying, oh no, this sucked bad. This joke sucked. That sucked. Why would he do that? I'm like, you see what happens? You broke this man. I mean, not to say he didn't have any high expectations, but you broke it.
That's good. You guys got that yin and yang. Do you guys have a specific genre you review, or just any movie in general that's interesting?
Oh no, we do anything and anything. I'm like, if you're gonna go down the rabbit hole and say like, what's your favorite genre? Mine is sci-fi and horror, or both are the same. I enjoy both, but Ben is very different and stuff.
Yeah, if I had to choose a favorite one, it will have to be like crime and thriller in that sense. I do like, if there's one genre that I would say like, I don't know, but because we haven't seen it in the past recently, because with all film genres, the romance types and whatnot. So listen, I gotta see it, I'll see it. But at the end of the day, everything else is more or less very engaging for me. Like,
yeah. Do you guys also like, have you reviewed like an old movie, like early 2000s, maybe 2010?
There is
it
one.
Depends. Go ahead.
I said there was one. We did actually review Stargate, the original Stargate, with what's his name?
Kurt Russell and Ultron.
Yeah, that actor.
James Spader.
We when it comes to older films, that's kind of what would be in the works as of, what we plan to do. Because we figured, okay, one thing we would like to do, with John being a Trekkie and myself just being an avid Trek fan, it's like, okay, we can have that discussion. Okay, a Trekkie sees this film or this episode in particular about this. I say, well, what about this and that? That's like stuff we'd like to go down, as well as the original Star Wars movies. That's something that we also want to like get through. But in essence, with older films, I would say, we will do, say, early 2000s, stuff like that. We would, we do have our opinions. There are things we would like to talk about, and, certain discussions, like, again, bringing it up because that was something we wanted to bring up.
I mean, it's good because it's never ending content. You got good movies from the past that you can review, but you also have new ones that are coming out. So there's never any, like, you're never stuck in limbo of what to do next, because there's so many avenues. What's one of the new movies you guys have reviewed, or you haven't reviewed one yet?
With yesterday's stream, or as of today's date, which is the 4th, so that's fine to say, we experimented with me doing a solo Saturday confessional, which is our Saturday night talking about movies and stuff for the podcast, where I talked about Godzilla versus Kong, which I saw in theaters. And
you actually went to the movies and saw that?
Yeah, and they had the guidelines, wear the mask, seats were spread out, saw it in IMAX, had a lot of fun. Yeah, I want to do that just to say like, okay, let's see how this fares, if it's, if it's the same feel or anything. Whereas John has the perfect setup in his house where you got everything. Do you want to explain it?
Oh yes, I will. I have I'm very old school when it comes to setups. It has to be, bookshelf speakers or high towers, and I have an Atmos setup. So basically I have the normal 5.1, but I also have two height speakers firing up to the ceiling and coming down. So when Godzilla was roaring, or missiles were going, it was crazy.
So you have a whole movie set up, literally a whole movie theater in your house.
Oh yeah, and as Clips, the brand I have, what is the slogan? Your neighbors will hate you, or something like that.
Yeah. So
did you guys enjoy the movie?
Oh yeah, I enjoyed it. Oh
yeah. Like I said, it was a lot of fun. You obviously underrated human characters, but it's a monster film. You're not gonna care about.
Yeah. The writing for the humans wasn't really that good. One thing I've learned about that movie was, once again, humanity is fucking everything up.
But true, folks. Yep.
But it was a good movie. I had fun watching it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, as essence, that's kind of what we want to do. We figured, hey, if we were able to go down the whole whatever review and whatever, and then we do specific episodes where it's like, oh, we want to talk about these films, because one of the main things would be like, oh, what is our favorite films? Because I could say I already have 5 that I would like to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
John, I know, has 2 or 3 specific ones. One of them being one specific Star Trek film that I know he can go in depth with about what was so great about it, how Star Trek was able to utilize the sci-fi genre, et cetera, and so forth.
Yeah.
So, what are you guys? What days are you guys releasing the episodes? Is it just whenever, or do you have a specific schedule when it's released?
I'm as of right now, every Saturday night at 7 on YouTube.
Would be our Saturday confessional, where it would be whatever.
Right.
And if he gets a Blu-ray of, because the recent one was Event Horizon was the one you talked about.
Right. Basically, Shout Factory just recently got did a collector's edition of Event Horizon, and they rescanned it and stuff. And so far in the Blu-ray physical media community, a lot of people like it. A lot of people enjoy it. They're like, it's a better scan of the Blu-ray, and they're like, go pick it up. And they actually got special features wise. They got the director, the writer, 2 of the actors, productions designer, set designer, to just talk about the film. So it's loaded with a lot of special features.
Yeah. So that's the stuff if there's anything particular we talk about, because we often do a movie review that recently came out and stuff like that he talks about. So when it comes to super specific episodes, as of right now, there is no tentative release date, just because it's the thing about timing, and it's mostly on my part. And then there's obviously wanting to make sure we can get it done, where John has his commitments to Twitch, because he's a Twitch streamer on top of everything. So
yeah. How's that going for you?
It's going. I mean, I'm still in the
early stages.
Early stages. I just got, I was starting off and on, and now I got a lighting. So the circle light. So right now I haven't had time to test out the lighting with live on Twitch. I've tested it in OBS. So
yeah, OBS is a bitch to use. It's too much. I need something simple.
Oh no, it's it's very easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I use the other OBS, which is not. It's Streamlabs. Streamlabs is much streamlined.
Smoother.
Yeah,
that's good. What made you want to get on Twitch? Oh, you gamer?
Yeah, I saw the people that were on there, people I watch, and I'm like, I can do this. It's just I got to do differently. Because I'm more I like single player games, and there are people who do single player games, but it's not. It's not in depth. If I want to do Resident Evil, I got to go in depth a little bit, or it's hard without having the audience. So like half the time, it's just me sitting here playing like this. Like,
Yeah,
it's hard.
I have a buddy. I think episode 3, Earthling Gene, right? He's a Twitcher. He's been doing it for quite some times. He was able to grow his following, and I think once or twice earn some profit. Because they have like a margin. Certain hours and certain following, you get you get a certain type of income, but you have to be consistent.
Oh yeah.
He the way he started getting followers were because like Pokemon. People fucking love Pokemon, man. So he would start playing, and like when people play Pokemon, they're stuck to like this regular routine. He started going a little bit out of the box and showing tutorials and normal things that people wouldn't do. So his audience got bigger and bigger, and every time he logs in, he gets like 1,200 people,
wow,
logging in. But it was something with the course of time, he was able to continue to build his following.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, it's just for right now on Twitch, I'm doing Saturdays and Sundays. I couldn't do Saturday yesterday as of this recording. I'm probably going to do tonight. So I'm going to probably be playing Red Dead 2.
Yeah.
So
that's a God bless you guys. I can't sit there. Can't sit there all night. I don't know. If it's not Batman, I can't play.
Yep.
So have you produced any films or written anything, or just?
I mean, go ahead, Ben.
No, you go first, because I know you've done you.
I mean, I've bounced around the idea with Ben about a Red Hood, because that's my character I love so much.
Jason Todd.
Yep.
My brother. My brother.
Yeah, but I've actually helped out some, like reviews and stuff, with fan series that I've enjoyed, and I've been in contact with, just helping them out, through Kickstarter and stuff. And they're very, they talk back to me and stuff. They're not, oh, thanks for the review. Bye-bye. No.
They're very,
these guys.
yeah,
they're very communicative. Yeah.
Did you get to see what's his name? Our fan film, Batman Cacophony.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your opinion?
I liked it. I liked where it was.
I don't want you to sugarcoat. I want you to be honest.
Okay. I liked it. I liked where it was going. I was even trying to get Ben to get me in because I was starting the idea of cosplay, and I was like, can you get me in as Jason Todd?
Yeah, but unfortunately, things didn't work out. But
the idea, like,
I mean, we could definitely listen. I played Onomatopoeia. I played was it Deathstroke? No, Deadshot.
Deadshot, yeah.
Deadshot, and I played Batman.
Right.
So one man playing 3 characters. So you definitely could have been somebody,
Yeah. No, but on like as a trailer, it was great. Like, I liked it. I enjoyed it. Like it could have been, could have been something. It's just, not getting into it.
Yeah. Listen, you're a viewer. Imagine somebody actually in it. So
I know. Yeah.
That's something that could have been potential to do something, and just moving on. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
But I mean, you guys are super smart, talented guys. I'm wondering, with so much knowledge and like, why you guys haven't done anything sooner? At least something small.
It's as we call timing.
Yeah, either like, because we had at least a couple of things. One was, again, him getting into cosplaying more. He figured, oh wait, well, since you did Joker, maybe you can do a new version or kind of dress up differently, and we can do like a simple short where I won't get into much details. It would have been about the 2 characters or something like that. But I will honestly say, for the most part, where I was, it was predominantly kind of unfortunately my doing, because I often said, well, I gotta commit to this, and it was mostly job related, which, believe me, it was a bit difficult, especially within the last few years, because of me having worked at the job I work at. Now it's like, okay, I think I'm at a point where I have free time to be able to do stuff that I can do, and it won't eat up, and I won't be as tired. Again, would have been another issue. When I mean tired, I mean to a point where he can even tell that I literally just fall asleep. So
yeah, there were times when we were supposed to talk, and he was like, I fell asleep. Sorry, my bad. And I'm like, don't worry. I understand, because I've been in that boat and situation where I've said, oh, I want to talk to people, and then they were like, did you fall asleep? And I'm like, yeah, I did.
Yeah. I've had those times with Ben too.
Yes. And then I'll just say another particular reason. For us, we've been trying to learn how to do, say, filming, editing, all this stuff ourselves. Like, we've had, people once or a couple times come forward, say, oh, we'll help you. Stuff like that doesn't pan out. So we're like, you know what? Let's just learn it ourselves. I mean, at this point, it can't necessarily be hard. People do it literally by themselves.
The University of YouTube. The software I edit this Shortcut, Shortcut, a free software, and they give you 3 tutorials on their channel, and like you could create a beautiful cinematic world. You see, I got a problem, and it pisses me off, like especially with Ben, because Ben is a talented motherfucker. He's a talented motherfucker, but I keep saying this, and not just to him, it's general. So I'm not coming for you. I apologize if I make
no. Believe me.
It goes back to that saying. I don't know if you guys ever heard or saw the clip of this. They call him the hip hop preacher, E.T. How bad do you want to breathe? How bad do you want to breathe? It's the same concept. You have a dream, you have a skill, you have a vision. You are never going to create what you want to create and be happy with your creation if you continue, having these 9 to 5s. You have to sacrifice something. We all do, like example, I worked at a fucking corporation. I managed properties in 4 different states, and the only thing I knew, I had to be a provider for my family. Because if I didn't, my son is a special need. He's autistic. My wife and I have that relationship. We built that relationship because it doesn't have it with it either. With that understanding, and goes back to my question: how bad do you want to breathe? Pandemic hit. I got kind of sort of laid off, left, put me in a good predicament. But in less than 2 months, I created a whole fucking podcast.
Right.
You can't see this, but I hold my own t-shirt printing business. You can't see my office, but I have my own real estate group, House of Lions, which I work with my wife. And all this being a parent to an autistic kid, which is not easy, but it's the best learning curve life will ever, send you. Like I took it. And I asked you guys, you want this to work. You want to continue. Like me and Ben, we come from a place when I met him, there was a fucking shitty place. Point blank, it was a shitty place. And, when I say, Ben pisses me off, it's because I've seen the shit he's gone through. I've lived with him, I've seen it. I've been there right next to it. But I also worked with him and Batman Cacophony, which is something, our dream, our vision to create something. And I see how this man is so talented. But if you don't find the time, like he went to, he was one of the cast members for the Joker movie, right? If you don't find time to create what you want to create, and you don't make it work, there's some times that I don't fucking sleep. Last night I went to sleep at 4:00 in the morning because my son's schedule, it fluctuates.
Right.
That's something normal with autistic kid and high sensories, right? So my day to day, I can't plan anything. I just got to roll with the punches and I make it work. And taking that concept aside, you guys want to reach some type of greatness. You want to reach your dream. You want to be able to sit back and enjoy your playing your video games and making your podcast and doing what you love, but yet also making a profit. Not worried about your financial struggles. You have to do it. You have to. There's no point blank. So we can sit and be sleepy and tired or work, but you got to remember, you got to open your mind. They're using you. You're not using them. They're using you. They're sucking the life out of you. They're taking that talent and embedding this 9 to 5 and making you think if you don't have a job, you're not be able to survive. You got to be a little bit more outside of the box with that. And I'm just saying, I know Ben, he's a talented, and if he's working with you, I can only imagine you're talented as well.
Yeah, I've talked to Ben when I first started talking. He was, I will attest, he was not in a great place, and I've been trying to tell him, like, listen, we gotta, like the writing and stuff, and then like from beginning until like I would say the first 12 months of us talking on Skype, without getting into it, like we made a screenplay, like legit. Like it wasn't a short, it wasn't a a TV, like we made a screenplay. Like it was like crazy, and it was all about what's going on in the gaming industry and stuff, but not getting into it, and it's constantly, that script is constantly evolving. As I'm seeing stuff, I'm like, Ben, we got something else. Ben, we got something else.
Yep.
Oh boy. Oh boy. And I've even thought about doing something with without getting into it with the whole Star Wars thing.
Yeah. And with the Star Wars, is always something new. It's always creating, Marvel. Disney has the same thing they do with Marvel, is that they'll get you on the contract, and anything that you write for 5 years, that's them, especially if you're a fan. All you have to do is I was before you connected, I was telling Ben that I have this idea to write the script, and it could be a script for a comic book, a movie, whatever.
Right.
But it has to be a script. So I'm here telling him, giving a timeline. 3 months hard draft to write a hard draft, and the other 3 months it's now actually production, meaning creating the script solid and fucking selling the son of a bitch. At the end of the day, for as long as you negotiating, your name is on that, and you're able to say, I want a royalty for every time you sell something for it, like like George Lucas, right?
Yeah.
Your shit's there. But you want to be able to make a profit with things you love, because what's that saying? You work a day, doing something you love. It's like you never worked a day in your life.
Yeah, find a job you enjoy. You'll never work a day in your life, I think is more or less the saying.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are on the right track. It's how bad do you want it? And always write it down. Write your ideas. Write it down, man. Don't let that thought process go away, because you never know that thought process right there could, one day make you a fucking billionaire.
Right.
You got to get it down.
Yep.
So, moving on. My bad.
It's fine.
That's all good.
You guys saw the Syder Cut, or are we waiting to do it when I'm on your guys' show and review it?
Okay. We can talk about that, but believe me, I will forward you like the points I want to hit in depth with the Syder Cut, because there is a lot to talk about that one. But we did a brief one for our Saturday confessional. But what would you have to say?
That's like a 4 or 5 hour conversation.
Well,
like legitimately, that's the 4 hour. You have to record that in parts.
And I don't mind, because that's 4 to 5 hours of people seeing the J Fry character. Yeah. And to be like, wait, what? And I have to tell people, like, it's a gimmick, it's a character, and they're like, wait, what? It's a character? It's a character. It's like watching wrestling.
It's
like,
a persona. Yeah.
And I don't know if I mentioned Dio, this man, big when it comes to wrestling. So if anything, y'all can talk
All
about
right.
that type of thing. So
All right, shit. That's a whole nother episode then.
yeah, because I'll say it like this. Before, I think I even mentioned to you when it came to wrestling, I'm like, oh, it's fake. Why do people watch it? And I think John put it in the best possible way to describe it.
It's the last, it's the last performing state. Yes, we have Broadway and stuff, and so, but it's the last athletic performing, art. It's almost like ballet, and it is,
Which
in ballet you could get hurt.
Yeah, whoop, break your foot,
Which I think I mentioned to him that, because of all that, meaning him, I also wound up watching the movie The Wrestler to ultimately realize, oh, so that's how it works. Oh, so it is like that. Okay, I can now see it. I can now take it as serious as you guys would take it seriously. Yeah. So he did show me a lot of old school Raw era episodes, which I'm like, Jesus. And these guys legit get hurt for our entertainment.
There was somebody that said they were like stuntmen.
Mm-hmm. the one pay-per-view, the one match I showed him was Mankind, Undertaker, Hell in a Cell, King of the Ring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's I think one or two. You could see this man in the background specifically. He had to point out oh, okay, yeah, that definitely looks like you. That looks like a shirt you'd wear. So he just pointed out, but it's just I figured I'd bring that up because
I and way back I started training to be to wrestle, and the intake it takes a toll on your body.
I know.
That's why there's always a comparison MMA and wrestling. MMA, you train. You're like a boxer. You're training for one day, and you hit yourself. You hit a motherfucker, with the world and knock them down. But in wrestling, you're doing that, 365 a day. You're not just injured. You're wearing your body out. And the bumps are not easy.
No,
the bumps are not easy.
And I've been front row to one or two promotions, and when they hit, they're hitting. They're hitting that. They're hitting that thing.
There's just promotion in Philly. It's a CZW.
I know what you're talking. I know what you're talking about.
Go to one of those shows where Dean Ambrose, John Moxley came from.
Yep.
Go one of those shows. That's like every time you go, you'll get the same experience.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just David Arquette. Have anybody seen the David Arquette documentary? You Can't Kill Me on Hulu?
Not yet. I have to. I didn't know what it was on. It's on Hulu?
It's on Hulu.
Okay. Now, I'm sorry, what promotion are you watching right now? I was going to ask.
I don't watch none.
You don't watch none?
I don't watch none. The most I watch is the clips and sometimes some pay-per-views, but
you're missing out on AEW. That's all I'll say.
Nah, I can't watch AEW. I can't watch. I can't watch. You know why? Because it's too much of a Jericho show. First of all, which Jericho's not bad, but it's that you get too much of something, now it gets stale. Second of all, they still have not developed main characters. You go to WWE, every superstar is a superstar. And AEW, they're still in that process. They don't know what to do. They're doing too much. And sometimes too much. Well, what are you gonna say?
They developed the most hated wrestler in the world, MJF.
Who's that?
Mm-hmm.
MJF.
Maxwell Jacob Freeman.
The one feuding with the Inner Circle.
Mm-hmm. Nah. Yep. Right now.
No.
Man.
No, you got to remember AEW. It's created for. This is why they're beating WWE and NXT. Those are hardcore fans. Those are indie fans. Those are not wrestling fans. Those are wrestling indie fans. Go to a Ring of Honor or a Dragon Gate or a CCW, right?
I've been to Final Battle. Final Battle in New York for Ring of Honor, and I've been to Baltimore for Best in the World for Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
I've been to a couple Ring of Honor, so I know they're different. I know the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Ben. What'd you say?
I was going to comment with AEW. Isn't that the one where this guy that isn't he a part of that?
Was it Sunny Kiss Hassan?
Yeah.
The concrete road, the roses grew from the concrete. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, just because I briefly knew him from when we worked crappy job prior. So, but yeah.
And that's another one, to going back to the previous example. He had to work his ass. He would come into work with a busted eye, busted lip, hurting ribs, because he worked his 9 to 5 and he made time to go pay his dues in his wrestling industry. Right now, he's fucking he's at a great spot because he has a upstarting wrestling promotion, which is been promoted and created better than what TNA was in the past. So going back to now the what I'm saying, those are hardcore indie fans. Those you're right now watching the uprising of some type of attitude era,
and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah,
because I love the attitude era. And I don't know if you're knowing what's happening is you've heard about the Forbidden Door, right?
On AEW.
Yeah, they're working with this is the list: Impact Wrestling, AAA, supposedly OVW, like all these promotions, like NWA. They're working with everybody, and WWE Triple H Hall of Ek has said we're open for business because Chris Jericho is going to be on Stone Cold's podcast,
and but that's something TNA was doing. That's not even national television. That's something indie wrestling was doing all the time.
And that's what I wanted. I wanted that to happen on a bigger scale. I've always wanted that to happen. And now we're getting it. And like, I'm the kid in the candy store going, ooh, I love this.
Yeah, but not, see, that's something I don't like. It has to be depend on the caliber of wrestler, honestly. Not everybody can stand in WWE stage and look like a fucking John Cena, Stone Cold, Roman Reigns. Not everybody. That's just like
two out of the people you just mentioned. I don't like.
But it goes back to how much work you're gonna put in. Shit, I don't like fucking John Cena, but when that motherfucker left, and there was that match and where he basically passed his torch to Roman Reigns, we kind of missed him. You hate him. You hated John Cena. But you hated so much, you invested every Monday night watching wrestling. You invested every pay-per-view. You invested every dollar on the W Network, hoping he will lose. So you tell me if he's not that good caliber.
I actually got the network for the all the old stuff.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, not everybody's meant to be a top star. See, right now, the biggest problem with WWE is that, you're a fucking corporation. It's too much in it. It's too much. It's not like we're AEW right now that it's number one, but it's not that crowded. And you see everybody leaving to WWE from WWE going over there. But then when's the last time Miro had a match that he actually complained on Twitter?
Just recently. Oh, whoa. Yeah, just recently in the one match.
So you're signing, it's like WCW. Everybody jumping to WCW, and people is getting guaranteed contract, and that's it. So there's no purpose.
The anniversary show for ROH, I really enjoyed. Really enjoyed.
ROH is fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
ROH it's the mecca for a lot of what wrestling companies is doing right now.
Yeah,
it's ROH is really good.
And I can't complain about New Japan except for the belt, but that's a different story.
Oh man, you saw that?
Yeah. I was like,
That's wow. I thought the WWE title was bad.
Yeah.
And then they have another one. The new was it the new United States title?
The United States one I'm fine with because it looks like the old,
But it's
the other. I know which one. I think it just got released. The other one, it's for the US show. That's fine. I'm okay with that. The other belt that they showed off, but did you? I want to ask you. Did you sit through the Zack Snyder cut like straight through, 4 hours?
yes.
Okay.
Well, yes.
So did I.
Not on and off because, like I said, I have a toddler, so I had to pause it.
Right. Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah.
I only have one problem with Zack Snyder, and it
What
goes
is it?
back to like every other movie he has done. You know,
Yeah.
he does these work of art movies with deep cuts because what makes it good about his movies are the details in them. But those details, I'm not sure if it's just like a marketing strategy to people go and buy the DVD or whatever. But this is what you know when they criticize him, then you come up with the movie, it sucks. Oh, but you gotta go and buy the DVD, the ultra version, whatever, to be able to know the whole stand, the whole shot.
Well, that's old school, like early 2000 marketing, which I like because I'm a physical copy buyer. I don't believe in digital.
I bought Batman versus Superman, the ultra violet whatever version.
Do you know they remastered it again, and it came out in if you have it in 4K, it will have now the new version of it. It has the IMAX shots, so it will switch from 35 to IMAX. I need to pick it up. Yeah.
So, well, if you're trying to make money, they're definitely making money. I'll tell you that much. But that's about it. It was satisfying.
Oh yeah.
And my problem in reality, it was that it left me wanting more.
And that's why a lot of people are doing the hashtag restore the Syder Cut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think Warner Brother has a big problem, man. They need to develop like a just DC studio. What they really need to do is fucking man up. That's what they need to do because DC is dark. You know, it's dark. You can't hide the fact that it's dark, but that's why it's good.
I'm waiting for the other Batman movie, which is with Robert Pattinson. Like that, and I know it's an Earth too, but I said I don't care. Like by that trailer, when that trailer came out, before they said, oh, we need more time and stuff, I was already hooked. I was already on board. By that trailer, that first trailer, I was like, yes, I want more. Give me it. I need to see this effing fucking movie.
Yeah, he sold me. There was two parts that sold me on Robertson Pattinson in that trailer. Was one, I like the fact that they're keeping it detective, which is Batman is the greatest detective of all time, and throughout the years they have lost that art. There's always this extreme measurements that Batman needs to take, and his gadgets almost like they're trying to make him into fucking Iron Man. And what has made Batman the greatest is his detective skills. Point blank. I hate the fact that every movie you watch of Batman, they always find out his identity. Like, come on.
And getting into it, have you ever watched, getting into Batman, the lore, have you ever watched the Titan show?
The
one that was on the DC, the app, and now it's on HBO Max.
Yeah. I watched mid season 2. I've been watching all of it.
All right. Well, I'm waiting for season 3 because they're turning Jason into Red Hood, and I've already seen the suit and I'm already sold. I've already seen set photo. They've came out with set photos, and all I can say is by the set photos, everybody's wanted it, including Crypto, the dog.
They sold me as soon as they said Red Hood, already sold me. Like I said, I have the whole collect of 40 comic books of what is it, Red Hood and the Outlaws. I have all 40 collection of them. That's my guy.
Jumping into that real quick.
Go ahead.
The fact that so far, from what I can recall, if you don't mind me could I spoil a little bit with what happens with him at the end of Titans? Or do you want to watch that part, Dio?
Titans.
Like with his arc ending.
Go ahead.
Okay, because
I'm gonna watch it regardless.
Okay, so basically, let me just ask. With him getting introduced in season 3, is it going to take you out of it if they obviously do a new version of why he became Red Hood from what we know about the fact that he essentially was killed? Correct me if I'm wrong, John. He was killed by the Joker, the death in the family, but then he comes back and then dons Red Hood, becoming the anti-hero he is. So what is it going to be? It's like, oh, he just transforms into Red Hood because of everything that happened to him. Will that kind of take you out of it? Or you think like that's something they should do because, it's the sake of the show?
Well, me or him?
I think that was for Ben. Was that for me or
for?
Well, for Dio first, and if you want to add anything to it, because I know we had this conversation, but with him and Red Hood, how would you feel like if you come into season 3 and it isn't that storyline, it is something different for the show?
No, because whether they kill him or not, you can already see, just like example in the cartoons, he's very rebellious. He's very rebellious. He as he's gotten older, working next to Batman, he is like, he has this thing. He knows like the only way these people are going to stop is you kill them. It's the only way. The only way. Which is, it resembles reality. That's why you have these wars and kill these people, because the only way in reality they're going to stop is you commit some horrible act of violence on them. So it wouldn't even surprise me if they do something like that. If it's like, for me, it's if they make it work, and if it's the right move, yeah, go. It's like they're promoting a lot of they're turning Superman black with this guy who did Creed, right? The problem is not that he's black, right? The problem is not that they're making him Superman. The problem is you have so many great black superheroes. Why are you gonna fucking make him Superman? You got the badass one, Green Lantern, Black Lightning. You have so many potentials to start something new, right? Something new and create something, a whole world. Why do you want to make him just Superman? When Superman in reality, he's an American. He represents the flag, blah blah blah. But he can't play with others. As soon as he sees somebody's powers or whatever, he gets defensive. Fucking Batman has more feeling of bringing somebody in and giving him a chance to fucking Superman. So that's my response. There you go.
John, did you have something to add?
No. He was hitting everything on the head with that. I was like, I've always said that to Ben. I've always said, why are we doing this when there's Static Shock? There's this, there's that, I'm like,
example, not to cut you an example.
Yeah.
Will Smith had a chance to do Bad Boys 3 or Suicide Squad 2, right? He said, I want something new. He's doing Bad Boys 3, right? And I apologize if I'm botching this, right? So then came Idris Elba. They wanted to recast him as Deadshot. He said no. He got in, I think it's Bloodsport, which is a whole badass African American super / villain hero, right? So it goes back to my point. Why do you want to make somebody Superman when there's 20 million other better? Like, I want to see a fucking Steel movie. Man of Steel.
Yes.
With a hammer, not Shaquille O'Neal fucking it up.
I know.
I was like, you gotta understand, I was a big fan of Superman, right? Way back when he had a mullet. You know, when it was Superman, Hunter Prey, when she goes back and some type of future to beat Tuesday.
And speaking about the mullet, Zack Snyder wanted the mullet in the Justice League, and Warner Brothers said nope.
Yeah,
and I'm like, he's in the black suit. Hello, it's perfect. Yeah. It's like perfect sense.
Yeah, it shows you proof that, because when he was dead, when you know we're dying, when we're dead, and we decompose, our nails, our hair continues to grow. But you know, that's just another problem with Warner Brothers.
And if I can ask, aren't there technically black Kryptonians that come into the Superman universe in general to help him? So isn't that like something that, here's an idea, like I think so. I again, maybe botching it, but I think someone said it doesn't necessarily have to be Clark Kent. It could be another Kryptonian, and you can give him his own legacy as a Kryptonian Superman in his own rights.
I'm not gonna deny any possibilities. There could be. I don't know right now.
Yeah,
but they can be. They can be.
So
you know? I mean, and I'm not big into. I don't read a lot of Superman, so like I don't know myself. Like you know, I can tell you everything in Batman, you know, in the Batman verse, and you know everything else, but Superman, I barely read.
A lot of people see. There's two superheroes. There's Spider-Man, there's Superman, and there's Batman, right? Mm-hmm. Like, there's a ton of different. Have you ever seen the Superman blue and red?
No.
Nobody knows about that.
No.
There's when he turns into like just force of energy, and it's blue, and he has a white chest, and he's all blue and glowing. And then there's a red version as well. There's Superman Hunter Prey, where he goes back into future, and he has this like cool ass gear to beat Doomsday. There's so many variations of Superman, you know, that people don't know about. They just know that the that's how you know if you're a fan or not, you know. But like I said, I wouldn't doubt it. But still, you know, there's so many African American superheroes that are much better than Superman. You can pick and choose from. Like if you go to the animated series of Static Shock, when I think they do a crossover with Batman Beyond, and you see the older version of Static Shock. How badass is that?
Yeah.
How badass is that?
Yeah.
But yet again, Warner Brothers is all about making the money. It's making the money. It's making the money. And like, did you ever see Superman Lives, the documentary?
Very little bit of it. I don't know if I saw the trailer or like half of it, but I know about the story of that.
Well, when you get a chance, go watch. It's a very good documentary, which Tim Burton was going to direct the Superman version of it, and it was going to be Nicolas Cage, right? So the main villain was going to be Brainiac, and they had all these like, you know, Brainiac could detach his head and it becomes like Spider. Well, they were going to do all that, and they said fuck it, and all those ideas that turned into Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
You know, so
which is one of my favorite underrated, however you want to say it. I really enjoy that movie.
No, it's a really good movie. And
yeah,
it has a catchy ass song. It has a catchy ass song. So it's a really good movie, but yeah, it goes to say it's, you know, it's Warner Brothers, I want to say, is very old school of movie studio mentality. You know, and like I said, I think with I started becoming a Marvel fan through, you know, just once Captain America became like he had a beard and long hair, that just took me from DC. But yeah.
Are you liking what they're doing? Speaking about Marvel, have you watched the Disney shows? You know, the Disney Plus shows, I should say, like Falcon and Winter Soldier.
WandaVision. Yes, WandaVision was the ending was like a beautiful bittersweet,
right?
You know, she has I see a lot online, a lot of comments, and why is she always a play B superhero? She should be a main one. And my response to that is like, she had so much going on. It's so much going on. It's so much going on. Like like when it comes to magic, like if you ever watch Iron Fist, it's difficult to tell that story with magic unless it's like a magic movie like Harry Potter. It's difficult to tell that story. And WandaVision is like between magic or the devil or whatever, that dark magic shit. You don't know. So does he have this power and she's a good person? Because obviously in the show it shows some type of this control.
So well, she's learning from what I got from the show, like she's learning more of her power that she doesn't know about. It's like, and Agatha is unlocking it, right? And then that was, everybody knows it was supposed to, before COVID and before the pandemic, it was supposed to lead it right into Doctor Strange. And then that was the original plan. And then we were right when how it was timeline wise, you watch WandaVision and then you go, and then Doctor Strange was the next like week or two or something like that. Or the next, like you wait a couple weeks and you go see it. But then everything has changed. And now we're getting the multiverse and Spider-Man. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, man, that's my only thing. For that, I wish she, I really want her to end up with Vision and have their kids and whatnot. I think that character, because everything it's like these series are basically like B plots,
right?
So they finished with the main plot. Now they're closing up the B plot storylines and to try to transition into what's the next phase,
right?
WandaVision, like I said, it was a beautiful, bittersweet, very emotional. I loved it. The Winter Soldier, which is they promised action, and I honestly thought that when they came out with the second version of Captain America, my thing is like, what's like, it was difficult for me to accept like what's gonna be next. There's no superpowers or whatever, but then you bring all that fucking action in. And that's what it is.
I mean, I know where the characters, I know who the guy, like the character is going and what the thing. I was not a big fan of the people attacking the actor. I think that was stupid. And I'm like, it's another character.
What do you mean?
They were literally, people on the internet were attacking the actor, sending death threats and stuff.
Which because actor? I'm aware of the story.
Ben, help me out here. This is what usually happens.
John Walker, you're talking about?
Yeah.
Basically, no. Well, here's the thing. There's a report that he wasn't really on Instagram, so he probably like, okay, I'll delete it, whatever. But yeah, no, because he's so hated and people like, you're never gonna be Cap, you don't deserve that shield. You get very very overzealous fans going after him when it's like, okay, he even said in interviews, that's kind of the point. You're supposed to hate this man because he might have ulterior motives. There might be more to him than him just putting on this show. Maybe he is a legit asshole. So, but they still went after him.
And I always say, just in general, wait until the show ends. And then make your assumption.
No, read the fucking comic books.
Yeah, that too. No, that too. I agree with you on that. Yes, read the comic books as well. Know your history. But people don't want to do that. But
yeah, because
hearsay.
All they know is it's because the comic book where it has become pop culture in a sense. It's not back in the day. They used to, nerds used to always read them, but everybody used to read them in the down low. But it's become some type of pop culture. So all they know is Cap gave the shield to Sam, and what the fuck is going on?
Right, but that's the whole point. And I think like this is just me. I hope that the Falcon and Winter Soldier show becomes a show. I hope it becomes a show because Kevin Feige has said some shows will become a show or some shows will be like a miniseries leading into a movie. I just hope.
I don't think that's gonna happen because it's what like the show of the Winter Soldier and the Falcon. It has a budget of a movie, and they don't want to make their money on just episode. They want to make their money quick and fast and boom, on to the next. So I think maybe WandaVision, if they stick trying to build her family, it could be. But no, I think they're gonna be slowly incorporated to this. Is just I think for me it's just one type thing because of Disney Plus was launching and then COVID hit and that we're still waiting for the prequel of Black Widow. So we'll see.
Which I am. I'm waiting until a physical copy because I'm not paying them that much on Disney Plus. I'm not. I can wait a little bit longer.
Yeah.
For Black Widow.
So yeah, man. It's with Marvel, it gives you good quality and good consistency. Way back when they first started the comic books, while I think, and I apologize if I'm botching this, while DC was selling comics for 25 cents, and Marvel came and sold them for like 15 cents, meaning winning them, getting majority of the people to buy their content. So it's the same thing happening, just a different platform. So yeah, guys, it's been a really good conversation.
Yep. So thank you for having us on, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
It's an honor. You guys have to come again. Well, you guys let me know if I can come on your show and we chop it up a little bit with the Syder Cut.
Yes.
We'll let you know. Yeah. Go ahead, Ben. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yep. We will definitely touch base with you. We will make sure it all organizes well with timing because this might be not like a long one, but we definitely want to make sure we can cover all our points.
Yeah, it's more part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4.
Yeah,
an ending saga. Before you guys leave, tell the people who are listening and our viewers, where can we find you at?
We have our YouTube channel, which is just simply titled Movie Confessions, and our Instagram, which is movie_confessions. We'll be slowly getting into the whole, since we just rebooted for this time more into the Facebook game, maybe back on Twitter, but we're starting to get our consistency with pumping out our content. So when that happens, obviously things are going to move in that direction. So check us out Saturdays for the Saturday Confessional, and then pending tentatively for the specific episodes of things we got to talk about as of the Syder Cut. That's down the line.
All right, can't wait. Thank you guys for joining me. Have a great day. Happy Easter and
Happy Easter.
See you guys later.
Easter.
Peace.
Peace.